My child, enough is enough. The weight you have carried for so long is about to be lifted. I am the one who wipes away tears and says, do not cry anymore. I did not bring you into this world to watch you suffer. I came so you could have life and have it fully. When your heart breaks, mine aches too. That is why I am stepping into your situation today, not next week, today. If these words are reaching you right now, it is not by accident. I arranged this moment. I know how many doors have closed in front of you, how many times you tried to move forward and felt something hold you back. Your wait is coming to an end. Faith does not mean seeing first and believing later. Faith means believing first and then seeing. I am asking you to trust my word before you see anything change. Your trust in me is the key that opens doors no one else can open. When you say, Lord, I believe you, the unseen begins to move. What was closed begins to open. What seemed impossible begins to bend. I know you are tired. I know there have been days you wanted to give up, moments when your strength felt completely spent. But hold on a little longer. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. And when it comes, you will understand that every tear had a purpose, that every hard season was preparing you for something far greater than what you lost. Hear this clearly. I have never left you, not once, not even in your darkest hour. When you felt alone, I was there. When you thought no one saw you, I was watching. When you believed no one heard you, I was listening to every word, even the ones you never said aloud. While you were waiting, I was working, moving people, opening doors, softening hearts you didn't even know needed softening. So this moment could arrive at exactly the right time. And that time is now. I have seen your pain and it has moved my heart. And when my heart is moved for one of my own, things begin to shift. What seemed permanently shut begins to open. What was lost begins to be found. What felt dead begins to breathe again. So hear me. The time of weeping is over. Starting today, a new chapter begins. A chapter of peace, of provision, where you will see my hand at work in ways you cannot deny. My child, I know there are things weighing on your mind that you have never said out loud to anyone. Questions you keep turning over with no answer in sight. I know every one of them, and the direction you have been searching for is closer than you think. Remember the man who walked toward me across the water. As long as he kept his eyes fixed on me, he kept moving forward step after step. But the moment he looked at the wind and the size of the storm around him, fear took hold and he began to sink. Many people live this way, not because they have no faith, but because their worries have grown louder than their hope. I am asking you to stop looking at the size of the problem and look at me instead. Whatever has stolen your peace, something in your family, something in your health, something you have never spoken about, I already know it. And I have already begun to move on your behalf. While you have been waiting, I have not been idle. I have been closing the mouths of those who spoke against you. I have been working quietly against plans meant to harm you, clearing the ground so what is coming can arrive without obstruction. Every painful thing, every person who hurt you, every situation that wounded you is being left behind. I am writing a new chapter for you, and it will be good enough to help heal the memory of the old one. I am the God of new beginnings. I take what is broken and restore it. I take what is lost and find it. I take what feels dead and bring it back to life. And when I restore something, I do not simply patch it together. I make it better than it was before. I know there are moments when you look at your life and see only what is broken, only the rubble of what you once hoped for. But where you see rubble, I see the foundation of something beautiful. I see the masterpiece I am going to build with exactly those pieces. What is coming into your life cannot be explained by ordinary reasoning. The very things meant to discourage you will become the materials I use to lift you up. Your past does not decide your future. Your mistakes do not define what is ahead. In my hands, what looked like defeat becomes a testimony, and what looked like an ending becomes a doorway. Right now, in ways you cannot yet see, things are shifting in your favor. And when this shift reaches your daily life, it will not arrive in small pieces. It will come like rain after a long drought, one blessing after another, until your heart is full and your needs are met. And it will not stop with you. The people you love will feel it too. Relationships that have grown distant may be drawn back together. Homes that have known tension may know peace again. Because when I move on behalf of one of my children, that goodness overflows onto everyone around them. The days ahead are not ordinary days. Doors that have been closed will open. People who walked away may return. Opportunities you thought were gone may come around again. I am the God who works all things together for good for those who love me. And your faithfulness through hard seasons has not gone unnoticed. I have seen every quiet moment of perseverance, and I am preparing something designed specifically for you. So lift your eyes, my child, open your heart. What is coming is good, and it is coming for you. My beloved, there is something I want you to understand about how I work. I do not always announce myself with thunder. Most often, I move quietly behind the scenes, long before you ever see the result. While you were waiting, I was already at work, not somewhere far away, but right in the middle of your situation. You have not seen my hand, but it has been active the whole time. I have been quietly working against words spoken to discourage you, frustrating plans that were never meant to succeed against you, and preparing the ground so that when your blessing arrives, nothing stands in its way. My word does not return empty. When I speak, things move. There are things tied up in your life right now. Habits of worry, old patterns of doubt, doors that have felt permanently shut. And I tell you, those things are loosening. Some have already broken, even if you cannot feel it yet. I know this season has carried real weight. There have been nights when worry kept you from rest. Problems that followed you even into your sleep. But those long nights are coming to an end. You are going to rest again. Not because every problem has vanished overnight, but because I am taking charge of what you have been carrying. There are doors you have knocked on that did not open. People who did not respond. Opportunities that did not come. I see all of that, and I tell you that is about to change. I am going to open doors that no one else has the power to close. Create paths where there were none before, and send help from directions you never expected. When I am working in someone's life, the impossible starts to look different. Mountains become paths you can walk. Valleys are lifted. What was crooked is made straight. What was stuck begins to move again. And here is something I want to settle in your heart. You have never been alone in this. Even in the moments it felt that way. I have been fighting battles on your behalf that you never even saw because you belong to me and I protect what is mine. I do allow difficulty. I allow seasons that strengthen you, that teach you things no other way could teach, but I do not allow destruction. There is a line that cannot be crossed when it comes to your life. My hand has been over you like a shield. Even on days you did not feel it. You have faced things that tried to take you down. Illness, hardship, loneliness, moments that felt hopeless. But none of it has destroyed you. You are still here. You are still standing. You are still holding on to some thread of belief, even on the days it felt thin. And that, my child, is proof that something greater than your own strength has been holding you up. Think of the man who sat by the side of the road, overlooked by most people who passed. His circumstances had limited him for a long time. But inside him, something remained. A quiet conviction that his story could still change. When he heard that I was near, he did not stay silent. He called out, and when others tried to quiet him, he called out louder, because real faith does not let fear, embarrassment, or the opinions of others silence its response. And in the middle of that crowd, I stopped for him. Today, I ask you the same question. What has been trying to quiet your faith? Is it fear? Doubt? That voice that whispers nothing is ever going to change? That man could have stayed where he was, but he chose to respond, and that response changed everything for him. If these words have reached your spirit, if something inside you is stirred while reading this, then do not just sit with the feeling and move on. Respond to it. Bring it to me in prayer right now in your own words. Tell me what is on your heart, because those who respond with faith experience things that others only hope for. Understand this. When you stop relying only on your own strength and instead lean on mine, What seemed impossible starts to open up. That has been the lesson of this entire season. Learning not to depend only on your own understanding, but to trust me with your path and let me make it straight. This is not just about solving the problem in front of you right now. This is about moving you into a new level in every part of your life. A deeper sense of peace than you've known. A kind of provision you haven't experienced. A level of clarity that changes how you face each day. And that new level is not going to be temporary. It is going to become your new normal. What is coming is not borrowed and it is not on loan. It is yours to walk in, yours to steward well. And as you learn to manage it with wisdom, I will continue to entrust you with more. Because the one who is faithful with little can be trusted with much. I know there have been seasons where it felt like everyone around you was moving forward while you stayed in place. Where you watched others receive answers while you kept waiting. I understand how that weighs on a heart. But hear me, everyone has their own season. The fact that someone else received first does not mean your turn is not coming. I have been preparing something for you that could not have arrived sooner, because you were not ready for it yet. Not because you lacked worth, but because some blessings, if they arrive too early, can do more harm than good. They can plant pride where there should be gratitude or create a dependence on things rather than on me. But you have spent this season learning to depend on me in scarcity, to trust me in the middle of trial, even without seeing evidence. That is exactly the foundation that allows a person to receive abundance without being shaken by it. A blessing without that foundation collapses. But you have been building yours season after season, even when it didn't feel like building at all. And now I can pour into your life without fear that it will overwhelm you. I can prosper you without fear that you will forget where it came from, because you have already shown through everything you've walked through where your trust truly lies. So take heart, my child. What is coming is not random and it is not small. It is the reward that matches everything you have carried, and it is going to surprise you. My beloved child, today I want to talk to you about the weight you have been carrying for a long time. You have held burdens that were never meant to be yours, taken on responsibilities that belong to others, stayed strong for people who never asked how you were doing. I have watched you bend under that weight, fighting hard not to fall, and it has moved my heart. So today, I am asking you to do something simple, though it may not feel simple at first. Set it down right now. Lay down what you have been carrying and give yourself permission to breathe. I once told my followers, "Come to me, all of you who are weary and carrying heavy loads, and I will give you rest." Take what I offer instead of what you've been carrying and learn from how I walk. Because what I ask of you is light, and what I give in return is rest for your soul. That promise was not only for people long ago, it is for you today. Rest, relief, freedom. These are not just words. They are what I am offering you right now. When you set down what you've been carrying, you are going to feel something you may not have felt in a long time. A peace that does not depend on what is happening around you. A peace that holds steady even when circumstances do not. I know there are situations that have kept you up at night. Worries that circle back no matter how many times you try to set them aside. I am telling you those sleepless nights are coming to an end. Not because every situation will be resolved by tomorrow, but because I am taking responsibility for what has been weighing on you. You simply need to trust me with it and let me work. Now, I want to speak to you about the people who are no longer in your life. I know there are relationships that ended in ways that still hurt, friendships that faded, people you no longer speak to, even though you once were close. And I know that hurts because you value peace and harmony, but I need you to understand something. Not everyone is meant to stay in your life forever. Some people come for a season to fulfill a particular purpose, and then their path moves in a different direction than yours. That does not mean something is wrong with you, or that you are unworthy of love or friendship. It simply means that what was meant for that season has come to its natural end. And some people had to leave so that others could arrive. I know the tears you have cried where no one could see, the worries you carry quietly, the thoughts that steal your sleep. There may be moments when it feels like you have reached the end of what you can handle, when you pray and wait and search for strength to keep going, but the weight feels too heavy to carry alone. Even in those moments, what feels impossible to you is not impossible to me. There is a story of two sisters who believed everything was already lost, that the moment for hope had passed. But what looked like the end to me was simply the moment before something new began. I see your situation the same way, your health, your finances, what is happening within your family, the fears you carry in silence, the questions you only ask when you are alone. So today, bring all of that to me, not to a stranger, not to avoid, to me directly in prayer in whatever way feels natural to you. Faith does not erase every difficulty the moment you speak, but it lights the way through them. You do not have to carry that weight alone. Bring it to me now. I am taking care of you. And what is coming toward you is far better suited for you than what is left. I also want to speak to you about your dreams, the ones you set aside a long time ago, the desires you tucked away in a quiet corner of your heart because you believed it was too late, or that they were no longer realistic. The wishes you never told anyone, afraid they might be dismissed. I know those dreams. I placed them there myself. They were never just your ideas. They were seeds I planted in you for a purpose. And though you may have set them aside, I never forgot them. Though you may have given up on them, I kept them alive. And now I am going to bring them back. Not in the way you might expect, but in a way that fits exactly who you have become. Because for me, too late does not exist. There is no such thing as your time has passed or you've missed your chance. I do not measure things by ordinary timelines. I work according to a different kind of timing. And in that timing, your moment is now. Consider those who came before you. Some received what they had longed for only later in life, well past the point where most people would have given up hope. If those stories teach anything, it's that age, circumstance, and how much time has passed are not obstacles to me. When I call someone to something, I provide everything necessary along the way. I do not send anyone into a new season unprepared. And the dreams I am restoring in you are not only for your benefit. They are going to ripple outward to the people you love, to people you haven't met yet, to situations you cannot currently imagine. Because what I do in one life is rarely contained to that life alone. It tends to reach further, touching others in ways that matter. So do not bury those dreams because of how much time has passed. Do not abandon them out of fear or because the path forward isn't clear yet. Dust them off. Let yourself believe in them again. Because when they come back to life, and they will, you are going to look back and know it was worth holding on. Before I move forward, I want you to know something else. I see how hard you have tried to hold everything together. I see the effort, the resilience, the quiet strength that it has taken just to keep going, and I am proud of you. Not because you got everything right, but because you did not give up. Many people in your place would have, but you kept believing even on the days it was hard to. And that has not gone unnoticed. My precious one, there is something I want to settle deeply in your heart before we go further. You do not need to pretend to be anyone other than who you are. There is no need to constantly prove your worth or to strive for the approval of others. My acceptance of you is already complete, and that is enough. My love for you does not depend on your achievements, your successes, or what anyone else thinks of you. Your value comes from me, and to me you are beyond measure. You are treasured, chosen with purpose, and your life carries a significance far greater than you may realize. I want to lift the weight of worry from you, the fear of what tomorrow holds, the things you cannot control. I will replace that unease with a peace that goes deeper than ordinary understanding can reach. This peace is not temporary. It is steady even when everything around you shifts. Good things are coming your way, the kind that will remind you how closely I know you, how completely I see you. I am aware that your journey has included real hardship, but I assure you the path ahead is becoming clearer. The uncertainty that has clouded your view is fading. making room for insight and a steady assurance within you. You are going to step into situations you once thought were out of reach, and you will be amazed at how the way was prepared for you, often through routes you never expected. Today, I am asking you to lean on me more fully than you ever have. Let your worries fade as your trust in me deepens. Hold on to what I have promised, because my promises are constant and true. This promise is not only for this moment, it extends across every season of your life. Your future is already known to me. I have already seen what is ahead, and I am preparing the way before you. There is no need to feel uneasy about what you cannot yet understand, because I am already present guiding you through it. Now, my child, there is something important I want to bring to you. As you step into this new season, I am asking you to take a step that reflects the trust we have been speaking about. A step that moves beyond words and into action. There is a way that trust becomes visible through an act of release. I am asking you to place a portion of what you hold onto the altar of this work, as one would lay a measure of gold upon the scales of a sacred task. Let it be your way of saying, I trust your hand to provide for me. This is not about the amount. It is about a heart no longer gripped by fear, but open and free. This act is not a transaction. It is not something that forces my hand, because what I have prepared for you is already on its way regardless. It is simply an outward sign of an inward trust, a way of saying with your actions and not just your words that you believe what I have spoken over your life. And once this is done, I want you to return your attention to what matters most, your relationship with me and the peace that comes from resting in it. Because the deepest treasure I want to give you is not a single moment of provision, but an ongoing closeness, a sense that I am near, that I am listening, that I am working even when you cannot see it. Let your heart welcome hope again. Reawaken your expectation for what can be, for the things that once felt out of reach, for the possibilities that are quietly forming even now. My love for you is stronger than your deepest doubts, and what I am able to do far surpasses your hardest challenges. This is your moment to stand steady and say with whatever words feel true to you, I trust that what has been spoken over my life will come to pass. When you speak that kind of trust, even quietly, something shifts. Not because the words themselves are magic, but because they align your heart with what I am already doing. Hold this thought firmly. This is not just a string of comforting phrases. It is something real, something meant to settle into your spirit and take root there. If you receive this truth now, the days ahead will look different. Not because everything instantly transforms, but because you will begin to see things with new eyes. I am close to you. I value you. And today I am inviting you to take a step forward. Not backward into old patterns, but forward with the confidence that I am walking this with you, leading you toward a future that is brighter than what you have known. I know there have been moments when you quietly wondered whether I truly hear you, whether I understand the depth of what you carry. Today, I want you to know that I notice even your quietest thoughts, your smallest requests, the breath you take before you try again. You matter to me more than you can fully grasp. I have watched how you have shared kindness with others, often without expecting anything back. How you have offered patience, understanding, and steadiness even when it was hard to do so. Now the season is shifting. The generosity you have shown is preparing the ground for a season where you receive in the same way you have given. Let your heart stay open, because good things are already beginning to take shape in your life. Do not be afraid to hope again, even if you have been disappointed before. What I have prepared for you goes beyond what you have already walked through. Not backward into old struggles, but forward into something with more peace, more clarity, and more steadiness than you have known. My child, I want to speak to you now about your purpose. I know there have been times you wondered what you are truly here for, what your life is meant to add up to beyond the daily routine of work and responsibilities and getting through each day. Today, I want to give you some clarity on that. Your purpose is not only to survive each day, to pay what needs to be paid, and to keep moving forward without ever stopping to ask why. There is something more woven into who you are. Maybe your purpose is to be a steady presence for people around you who are struggling. Maybe it's to bring a sense of calm into spaces that feel chaotic. Maybe it's simply to live in a way that quietly reflects something good, something that others notice without being able to fully explain it. And that purpose is not something you will need to force. It will not require you to strain or perform. It will flow naturally from who you already are. As you continue walking forward with me, you are going to influence people without even realizing it. Not through grand gestures, but through the quiet consistency of your presence. When someone is aligned with the way I made them, even their ordinary life becomes something meaningful to the people around them. The coming months hold something I want you to look forward to. Discovery. You are going to uncover things about yourself that have been waiting beneath the surface. Abilities you didn't know you had. Skills that have been dormant. Capacities you never had reason to use until now. I placed those things in you, and now is the season for them to come alive. When that happens, you may find yourself surprised by your own capability. You might think, I didn't know I could do this. And that surprise is part of the process. Discovering gradually what you are truly capable of when you stop underestimating yourself and start trusting what I placed within you from the beginning. Now I want to speak to you about the dreams you set aside. The ones from years ago before life got complicated, before responsibilities piled up, before you started telling yourself it was probably too late anyway. I know those dreams. I know you stopped talking about them. Maybe you stopped even thinking about them, except in quiet moments when something reminded you of who you used to want to be. I want you to know those dreams were not random. They were not just youthful ideas that you eventually outgrew. They were seeds placed in you on purpose for a purpose. And even though you may have let them go, I did not forget them. Even if you considered them finished, I kept them alive. Here is something I want you to hold on to. In my way of working, too late is not a real category. There is no expiration date on what I can do in a person's life. Consider the stories of people who received what they had longed for far later than anyone would have expected. People who were given new chapters in seasons of life most would consider past their prime. If those stories tell us anything, it's that timing in my hands does not follow the rules people assume it does. Your age is not a disqualifier. Your current limitations, whatever they are, do not box me out. When I call someone towards something, I also provide what they need to walk toward it. Not all at once necessarily, but step by step in ways that become clear as you go. And the dreams that are coming back to life in you are not meant only for you. They tend to ripple outward toward people you love, toward people you haven't met yet, toward situations that will benefit from exactly the kind of person you're becoming. What I do in one life rarely stays contained to that life. It tends to reach further than expected. So, do not bury those dreams because too much time has passed. Do not set them aside because the path forward isn't obvious yet. Instead, let yourself revisit them. Let yourself imagine again, even if only quietly, even if only for a moment at a time. Because when those dreams begin to take shape again, and they will, you will look back and recognize that the waiting was not wasted. I also want to acknowledge something. I see how hard you have worked to hold things together. I see the resilience it has taken just to keep showing up day after day, even on the days that felt heavier than others. And I want you to know I see that and it matters to me. Not because effort earns anything from me, but because perseverance, especially the quiet kind that no one applauds, reflects something real about a person's character. Many people faced with what you faced would have given up, walked away from hope altogether. But you didn't. You kept showing up. You kept believing even when belief felt thin. And that has not gone unnoticed. The days ahead are going to involve some important moments, decisions you'll need to make, steps that might feel unfamiliar at first. When those moments come, I don't want you to be afraid. I am preparing the way ahead of you, walking beside you as you go and supporting you from behind so you don't lose your footing. You are not stepping into this alone. You never have been and you never will be. That is not just a comforting phrase. It is something I've promised, and it remains true regardless of how things feel on any given day. So as you move forward, carry this with you. Your story is not finished. The dreams that feel old are not too old. The purpose that feels unclear is becoming clearer. And the version of you that is forming through everything you have walked through is exactly the version that is ready for what comes next. Now I want to speak to you about your health. I know there are things in your body that haven't been working the way they should. Aches that follow you, conditions that worry you. Things doctors have struggled to explain or resolve. I see all of it. I am the one who heals, able to restore what is damaged, repair what is broken, bring healing to what is sick. From the crown of your head to the soles of your feet, I am at work in ways that go beyond what medicine alone can offer. Whatever has felt permanent, whatever diagnosis or chronic discomfort has shadowed your days, bring it to me. And trust, I am not finished working in your body or your life. I am not only interested in healing what is physical. I want to heal what is unseen too. The emotional wounds you have carried for years, the memories that still unsettle you, the old hurts that resurface at unexpected times. I am the one who mends what is broken inside a person, who lifts the weight of old pain, who restores what time alone cannot restore. When this kind of healing reaches your life, it tends to feel like a fresh start, like something has lifted that you had grown so used to carrying, you almost forgot it was there. You begin to breathe more freely, to move through your days with less heaviness. Real health is not just the absence of illness, it is vitality. Having the energy and the freedom to actually live, not just get through. I also want to speak with you about your finances because I know this has been an area of real stress, stretching every dollar, juggling bills, living with a low hum of financial anxiety that never fully goes away. That pressure is not meant to define your life forever. I am able to open doors of provision in ways you might not expect. New opportunities, unexpected sources of income, situations that shift in your favor when you least anticipate it. This doesn't mean everything changes overnight, but it does mean the situation you're in now is not your permanent reality. Doors that have felt locked may open, and resources may arrive from directions you hadn't considered. As things shift, remember where you started, not with shame, but with gratitude, because that memory will keep you grounded when things get easier. Now, I want to speak to you about those you love and carry in your prayers. I know you worry about them. I know there have been situations involving the people closest to you that have kept you up at night. Decisions they've made that you couldn't understand. Paths they've taken that worried you deeply. I want to give you a word of hope about them. None of the people you love are beyond my reach. None of them are too far gone, too lost, or too far down a difficult road for things to change. I am the kind of presence that goes looking for what has wandered, that welcomes back what has strayed, that does not give up easily on anyone. Every prayer you've whispered for the people you love has been heard. Every quiet tear shed on their behalf has mattered. In time, you may begin to see shifts, small ones at first, but real. People returning to better paths, relationships healing in ways that once seemed impossible. When that happens, you'll understand the waiting had its own purpose. Sometimes people need to walk through consequences before they're ready for guidance. And sometimes the most loving thing is to keep showing up in prayer even when you can't see results yet. I also want to speak about relationships more broadly. Marriages, partnerships, close bonds that have weathered storms. If you are in a relationship that has been through difficult seasons where staying together took more strength than either of you had left, know that survival itself can be the foundation for something deeper. Couples who come through hard seasons together sometimes find a connection on the other side that wouldn't have been possible without the difficulty. More mature, tested, and proven, rather than untested and fragile. And if you're not in a relationship and you've wondered whether that means something is wrong with you or whether you've been overlooked, I want to gently push back on that. Being alone for a season is not the same as being abandoned. Sometimes it reflects a kind of preparation for yourself and potentially for whoever comes into your life down the road. There is real wisdom in waiting for the right connection rather than settling out of loneliness. Even though waiting itself is hard, the days ahead will involve some decisions, moments where you'll need to choose a direction, take a step, respond to an opportunity. I don't want you to feel pressure, but I do want you to feel ready. Whatever comes, you're not facing it without support. The same presence that has walked with you through hard seasons is walking with you into whatever comes next, quietly, steadily, but real. So, as you think about your health, your finances, the people you love, and your relationships, hold on to this. None of these areas are locked in place forever. Change, even slow change, is still change. And small shifts over time can add up to something that looks in hindsight like transformation. There is one more thing I want to say to you here plainly and without complication. I love you. Not the version of you that you present to others. Not the version that gets everything right, but you exactly as you are right now with everything you carry and everything you doubt about yourself. That love does not fluctuate based on your performance, your mood, or your circumstances. It has been constant and it will remain constant through good seasons and hard ones alike. And because that love is real, the things I'm speaking over your life are not empty words meant to comfort you for a moment and then fade. They are meant to settle into you, to become part of how you see yourself and your future, not as someone stuck, but as someone in motion. Even on the days that motion is hard to feel. So rest in that. Trust in what has been spoken. Believe even gradually, even imperfectly, because that is enough. What has been promised over your life is not going to be undone by doubt or by difficult days or by the slow pace of change. It remains true and it remains yours. My child, we have come to the final part of this word, and I want you to feel the weight of that. Not as an ending, but as an arrival. Everything spoken over these past sections has been building toward this moment. None of it was scattered or accidental. It has all been pointing here, to this place where something shifts from being heard to being lived. I want to be honest about what this moment is and isn't. It isn't a guarantee that every difficulty disappears overnight, or that life suddenly becomes free of friction. That's not how real transformation tends to work. And I think you already know that even if part of you wishes otherwise. What this moment is a kind of threshold, a point where you get to decide how you carry everything that's been said into the days ahead. Think about everything you've been through to get to this point. The night's sleep wouldn't come because your mind was too full. The mornings where getting up felt like its own small victory. The moments you wondered quietly whether anyone or anything was paying attention to what you were going through. I want you to know all of that mattered. None of it was wasted. Even the parts that felt most pointless at the time. There's something that happens to people who go through hard seasons and come out the other side, not unscathed, but still standing. They carry something afterward that people untested in the same way don't have. Call it depth. Call it perspective. Call it a kind of quiet strength that doesn't need to announce itself. You have that now. Whether you fully recognize it yet or not, it shows up in how you respond to things, in what you're able to tolerate, in the compassion you have for others who are struggling, because you know what struggling feels like from the inside. I think about Nehemiah sometimes, a man who looked at a city in ruins, walls broken down, and instead of waiting for someone else to fix it or for perfect conditions, picked up what he had and started rebuilding piece by piece, even while people doubted him, and the work was slow. He didn't wait for the rubble to clear itself. He started where he was with what he had, and the work that followed became something far bigger than he could have built alone. There's something in that for you if you're willing to see it. Not a demand to do more, but a quiet permission to begin again wherever you are with whatever you have. Because that's really what this is about. Not a dramatic instant before and after, but a willingness to keep going, to keep showing up for your own life, your own healing, your own growth. even on slow or uncertain days. The glory talked about throughout this message isn't a spotlight moment. It's something quieter and more durable. A life that gradually becomes more whole, more peaceful, more aligned with who you actually are underneath everything you've been carrying. I want you to carry a few things forward from here. First, the understanding that you are not alone and never have been, even in the seasons that felt most isolating. That presence described throughout this message, steady, attentive, unwilling to give up on you, doesn't go away when this message ends. It continues into your next conversation, your next decision, your next hard day. Second, hold on to the idea that your story isn't finished, and that the chapters still being written matter just as much as the ones already behind you. It's easy to feel like the past defines everything, like the mistakes, the losses, the disappointments are the final word. They're not. They're part of the story, but not the whole story. And they don't get to write the ending. Third, something about how you treat yourself in the time ahead. So much of this message has been about external things: health, finances, relationships, opportunities, and those matter. But underneath all of that is something just as important. How you talk to yourself, how you treat yourself on hard days. Whether you extend yourself the same patience and grace you'd extend to someone you love who was struggling. That internal shift, treating yourself with more kindness, is often where real change actually begins quietly before anything external catches up. And finally, something simple, without dressing it up in bigger language than it needs. Thank you for staying with this, for listening all the way through, for being willing to sit with these words, even if some of them stirred something up. That willingness to keep listening, to keep hoping, to keep showing up even when it's hard is not a small thing. It's the seed everything else grows from. Wherever you are right now, whatever room, whatever city, whatever moment of your day this finds you in, take a breath, just one. Let your shoulders drop a little. Let go of whatever tension you've been holding even for a moment. You don't have to solve everything today, or have it all figured out by tonight or next week. You just have to keep going, one day at a time, the same way you've been doing all along, except now, maybe with a little more awareness that you're not doing it alone. The road ahead is still going to have its difficult stretches. That's just true of life, and I don't want to pretend otherwise. But it's also going to have moments of unexpected lightness, small joys that catch you off guard, quiet wins that you might not even think to celebrate, but that matter all the same. Pay attention to those. Let them count, let them add up. This message ends here, but your story doesn't. It keeps going the same way it has been all along. Sometimes slowly, sometimes in fits and starts, but going. And whatever comes next, you get to meet it as someone who has already survived more than they probably give themselves credit for, carrying more strength and more capacity for good than you might realize on an ordinary day. So, take care of yourself. Be gentle with yourself. And when things feel heavy again, because they probably will at some point, remember that heaviness is not the same as hopelessness, and that hard seasons end, even the ones that feel endless while you're in them. That's it. That's the whole of it. Not a magic formula, not a guaranteed outcome, just an honest word offered with care for whatever you're carrying right now. Take from it what's useful, set aside what isn't, and keep moving forward at whatever pace makes sense for you.